Wait, what is happening?
We're going to record a promo
We're
right
about
now.
to record an advert.
We're going to record an
Okay.
advert. Hi, we're the D&D show, the Dungeons and Dragons. No, somebody else's go.
Job done.
We are a Dungeons and Dragons actual play podcast. Though sometimes we don't play Dungeons and Dragons. Sometimes we play other games like Call of Cthulhu. That's about all we've done so far. Scratch that. Take 4. Hi.
Oh, you're a dickhead. You're a dickhead.
Hi, my name's Luke. I'm the host of a podcast called The Dice and Die Show.
What do you do?
Well, largely we just play D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, but sometimes some other stuff too. We also talk shit for half an hour, talking about films, movies. They're the same as films, really. But yeah, we talk about we play Dungeons and Dragons. It's an actual play podcast. If that's your thing, then check us out. The Dice and Die Show, D&D show. Give us a listen. See what you think.
Boom.
That is one of the most
sure I
confusing
can-
promos I've ever heard in my entire life.
Welcome to Direcast. Just do it. Here at Direcast, our group of 6 top geezers play different RPGs, bringing you a new game and system every few weeks. This week, we're in the 3rd episode of Havoc Brigade, continuing our joyous romp through the city, sowing seeds of insanity wherever we go. My name's Lukey, and this week's question is, what would your spy name be? My name is pretty spy-like already, I'm not gonna lie. It would probably be Desdemona Hughes.
That's nice. My name's Matt, and I feel like you and I have kind of taken the question quite differently. My spy name was going to be the Gravedigger.
Ooh, I like that.
I thought you meant like a code name.
I'm Jacob, and my spy name would be Captain America. A, because it would throw people to the wrong side of the ocean, and B, they could never inquire about me without having Disney's lawyers descend upon them. It's foolproof.
That's not bad.
So it's a good defense plan.
Weaponized corporate warfare.
Hi, my name's Helen, and my spy name would be Joan.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Cool.
Would you like to elaborate?
No.
Oh, it's the only name she
Spy
needs.
doesn't usually. Like,
I'm only thinking of puns over here, but I won't go with one.
Yay.
Do it. Just do it.
My name is Peter, and my spy name, I think, to be most effective would be Mince. So I could be a mince spy.
very good.
There we go.
Hi, my name's H, and I can't think of anything funny like everyone else, so I'm going to go for a pun on my surname, so I'm going to be Folklore.
Oh,
terrible.
nice!
Oh, that's
Holy
yeah.
That's
shit.
genuinely good. That's genuinely
you.
awesome. And you're also on this podcast as H, which is basically a spy name anyway, so...
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
My one sounds more like my erotica novel writer name.
I
That's a
was
little bit,
tempted
yeah.
to say going down the femme fatale route, but...
It was...
I've just realised I sound more like a freaking like luchador.
Yes, you
wrestler.
sound like a
You do.
burglar. You sound less like a spy and more like
Yeah.
a famous.
I feel like I misunderstood what kind of spies we were all doing. I was thinking like,
I feel like between us we've covered every subgenre, so...
yes, you know who we need to get on this job? We need the Gravedigger. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
They
I
call
want to
him
read the
Gravedigger.
Gravedigger and Desdemona Hughes in Havoc.
I feel like we're a reluctant pairing. Like, I don't want to work with you, but I have to.
I think we come from different genres, madam. Now that we know who everyone is and what we're doing, let's get to it.
And yes, I think enlightened by this display, which I am considering as being worth 3 suspicion, the yes, a tide of goblins appears to witness this. A tide of goblins appears to witness this, and promptly, I believe, runs amok. So, in what particular manner are they running amok?
Well, they've been cheering and celebrating, and just they start rushing forward to join Profanius
Profanius.
And they are swarming, because swarming over blokes is one of their skills. And they are basically trying to go for anything that isn't anything human, essentially.
That isn't covered in plate mail.
Or even if it's covered in plate mail, they're trying their very best to like drag it down, bite its fingers off. Like they're going for it. They're having the time of their life. Goblet alone is remaining on Wrench's shoulders, and he's just going goblet, 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 goblet.
Fantastic.
And the others are just swarming and biting and clawing and dragging down
Fantastic.
and having a great time, all cheering and laughing.
Can I get you, please, because the suspicion pool is at 12, can I get you to just roll 12d6, please, for your mayhem?
All right, 12 dice. Here
Okay.
we come.
Pray silence for the 12 dice.
That is 6 successes.
Yes.
Fantastic.
yes.
Okay, so you know that scene. So you know that scene in Return of the King when the dead army appears,
Yes.
and it just kind of washes over the army of Mordor in this spectral green wave and kind of crests up the mummoks and up the side of the walls. It's like that, but significantly more bitey. And I think at least one. There are casualties, of course. At least one goblin gets stuck in a holy sounding horn and is launched at velocity into the river as the trumpeter gives out a dying blow. Yes,
Bye, Stinky Pete.
Fare thee well.
The,
Stinky
um,
Pete.
There are
Yeah.
even more bubbles as he sinks than there would be for any other goblin.
Indeed, some of the bubbles are yellow. The proud Templars are flailing about. They try to smash and cut, but they are interrupted at every turn. Several of them overbalance and go over into the water. More and more are hopping about as the goblins manage to climb inside their armor. And
their
are
ankles.
just kind of they're just kind of Who Framed Robber Rabbiting their way through this crowd. Incense goes. Yeah, there are pallets of incense, not pallets of incense. Censers of incense go flying. Various mitres are knocked askew. Shepherds are thoroughly crooked, and just in general. In general, it's a very embarrassing experience for all concerned. And
Not
with
for
that,
me, I'm having the time of my life.
absolutely, the rest
This
of
is
you are
great.
easily able to. The rest of you are easily able to cross the bridge while all of this is going on. I believe that I feel like Skivet has to. I feel like Skivet potentially has to go in on Hippo back to extract Profanius at one stage, as they stand defiant over a mound of groaning Templars.
I'm posing for a portrait, Skivet.
Fantastic! A street artist quickly takes down your portrait. It is
Off to the
underwhelming.
side, Snot is like drawing very quickly with like chalk
Yeah.
on the floor.
Did you say they had a horn that you can use to launch people into the air? Because if so, I would like to take one.
Fantastic! You have an unreasonably large. You have the Holy Horn of Solace.
Oh, what else is there to scavenge? Because I could do with some scavenging.
I mean, kind of. What do you want to scavenge from this carnageous scene?
Well, they had sensors. You could hit people with an incense sensor. That's a hard thing to say.
Incense
Or an
sensor.
incense sensor.
Oh,
That's
can I
really
just grab
hard.
a bunch of incense?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually very smart. Oh, Stinky Pete would have loved that. While all of you guys are doing this, Wrench is just like very cheerfully strolling across the bridge, kind of da 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 da.
His goblet still on your shoulders.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's having
You
a lovely day.
find that the end of the bridge is blocked.
By what?
What isn't it blocked by? The at first you think that it's just like a gate that is that has been raised. You know, like, oh, okay, that's something else to bash down. But then there's some movement in the gate, and it's actually a bunch of like tower shields, which have various hatches that open in them, from which protrude assorted gadgets and gewgaws and, you know, experimental prototypes, which will experimental prototypes. There are also a number of very intricate and machines which visit violence upon the enemy in all kinds of interesting ways. At the front of all, leading out of all this, is a tall woman. She is nearly as tall as all of you guys.
Activate stilts. Just so I'm a little bit taller.
Yep, absolutely. You activate your stilts and you come up to kind of eye level with her. Her coily hair is bound back in a tight bun. The little bit of skin that you can see is dark, but most of it is encased in this bronze experimental piece of powered armor. She draws a sword which must be a good 5 feet long and has kind of twin tines to it, rather than a single full blade, and lightning crackles between the two tines as she activates it. And she says, I am Professor Serena Winchester, and your journey ends here. And she takes up a stance as this shield wall just bristles with machines and weaponry.
Okay. Okay. As Serena, did you say what was her name?
Serena. Yes.
Professor Serena Winchester. Yeah, as Professor Serena Winchester does that, I'd like to kind of I've activated my stilts. I'd like to kind of bring round my my electro lodestone powered railgun to kind of to show it, and I'll kind of turn it on so it kind of does that little like.
Yep.
And I'd like to just nod like, good morning. I am Wrench, the lead scientist of the Copper Clan. We are not so different, you and I.
Goblet.
And then I'd like to kind of smile heroically, but very conscious of the fact that I am in fact on my own on this bridge. I'm going to take like a few steps back, but try and make
You're not entirely on your own. There is indeed Goblin on your shoulders.
Oh, I've still got Goblet. Yeah,
you still got Goblet.
Me and Goblet will take a few steps backwards.
Goblet pats your head reassuringly.
Moontooth is going to come forwards at this point. He hasn't done anything in a while. He is going to ride his elephant forwards to stand with you.
My friend on the elephant says our journey is not quite finished yet.
I didn't say that.
I'm talking for my. Don't ruin my flow. I'm having a moment.
Sorry.
Have you never monologued before? Jesus. Serena nods to you. Serena nods to you and says, "As a fellow professional, I commend your ingenuity. Unfortunately, politics does tend to get in the way of the fine art of mechanics. So I'm just going to have to find out how that thing works when I clean your giblets off of it."
It's funny you say that. I was just looking at that sword and thinking it'd make a really fine thing. My bookcase has a bit of a wonk to it. I think that sword would fit perfectly underneath it.
You have a bookcase?
I do. I have interests.
What do you have a bookcase for?
Poetry.
I
have interests. I'm not a stereotype. I have interests outside of my day job.
I'm a stereotype, and I just want to smash.
Thank you very much. Anyway,
okay.
I enjoy fine art.
Could someone please do something violent, because I'm not allowed to do that as the game master.
Yeah, I do something violent.
I will. Yeah, like since I've been having the conversation, I'll kick this off. I'll be like, "What'd you say, Goblet? Shall we toast him?"
Goblet.
On that note, I'm going to fire my electro lodestone powered railgun at just into the ranks, like not aiming at anyone,
fantastic.
not directly at
Beautiful
Serena
sentence.
Winchester, not at anyone in particular, just kind of into
You're
the
just
ranks.
kind of in that general direction.
demonstrating what it can do.
Cool.
It's
Nice.
rare that I hear such a beautiful sentence as "I'm going to fire my electro-loaded."
My electro lodestone powered railgun,
It's amazing. I love it.
which I'm going to do.
Profanius has just finished having his portrait taken, and he's checking it. He's like, "Oh, we're back in business. All right."
Yep.
Oh, do you like it? Is it good? I feel like it's my greatest masterpiece. I'm so proud you have such a beautiful profile, and the parsnips just really
wonderful.
bring out your eyes.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to be rolling 2 dice. One for the heavy lodestone powered railgun, and one for shooting stuff.
Shooting,
Okay.
Oh,
shooting
double
and
success!
shooting and-
Cool. I am roll. Okay, so I think the lodestone easily chunks a couple of the tower shields, and there's a horrible mangling noise, and then there's a moment of silence, and then the air turns into about 80% lead.
Wait, what?
Because I
As
can
in-
cash in dice from the decision pool,
Yeah.
from the suspicion pool. So your 2 successes were met by 4 successes.
Oh,
so you
no.
take 2 damage as just a hailstorm of lead and shrapnel. And I think there was literally a kitchen sink bounced across the bridge at one stage.
I thought you meant like the air literally just suddenly contains like the gas version of lead.
Yeah, so did
And I was like,
Oh.
whoa,
I didn't
I mean,
that would be
I mean-
a weird thing to...
We've invented pollution, guys.
Yep.
I mean, pretty much. Let's be honest.
I'll just as I'm hit by the bullets, I'll just be like, as I'm like, oof, oof. I'll be like, all right, fair enough. You're not a pansy. All right, I got it.
All right.
You mean
I-
business?
Would like to charge on my elephant,
Fantastic.
wielding my hunting bow, wearing my bear cloak,
Yep.
and I'm going to, I don't know, pick a bit of gristle from between my teeth and like smush it onto my face, and
Cool.
make the worst kind of grimace, gnarly, slimy, slathery blah I can do as I charge, and I'm trying to be Muck Spooky.
Yep. Oh,
So-
fantastic.
I am channeling Ben Spooky, so that's the dice. I am channeling
Spoopy.
a hunting bow, I'm channeling a cloak, and I am riding an elephant, so that is 4 dice.
I'm giving you hunting bow realness.
Hell yeah, channeling my hunting bow.
I think that's
Fuck.
dead good, which I can't remember what that does.
It means
As a
you can
cunning
But you
plan.
can't do that unless it fails.
Please
Shit.
do, I've just failed, I only got 2.
I still think that's dead good then.
Okay, I'll
God,
try
use
that
it.
again, because that's only 2 successes. Let's see if this is worse. It could well be worse. It was exactly the same. Thank you for trying.
Okay, so that is 1 success total because I only got 1.
Yeah.
I think it is as Wrench gets kind of blasted back, muttering conciliations. You charge forward, firing, and the elephant is a very well beloved in the city community. No one wants to shoot the elephant. No one wants to mention the elephant in the room, and because of that, they mostly miss.
What is the elephant's name then?
Rupert.
Yeah.
Good name for an elephant.
Rupert the elephant.
Yes, so you charge in, and I think a couple of the more disposable interns are crushed beneath your mighty treads, but it's nothing they can't shake off. Let's be honest. There are a lot of nerds here, and they are all trying to outcompete each other in how much damage their precious explodey toys can do, because they heard the commotion on the south side and decided to turn out in force.
I thought you were going to say they're going to outcompete each other trying to swing onto the elephant with a rope a la Legolas. But also valid.
They're not. The Guild of Machinists is not that athletic.
Can I ask a technical question of the DM?
Yes.
Are they like on the bridge, or are they like at the edge of the bridge, blocking our exit?
Whichever is the most convenient for the narrative.
Because all I was going
Scatter them
if
into
they're
water.
if they're on the bridge, if you want to call it a free action, I was gonna yell to my teammates. I'd be like, like freaking destroy the bridge or something. I'm actually thinking about it. In my head, it's like a suspension bridge, but actually, it's probably a stone bridge. So actually,
it can be a stone suspension bridge.
How? That's not a thing. How?
It is now.
difficult would it be for me to do like a superhero downward punch and disintegrate the bridge?
What skills?
I'm
are
going
you
to go
using?
with quite and work from there.
Shouldn't have used up all that
fine.
bloody dynamite.
Smashing a bridge with your bare fists would certainly constitute some of your drives if you can pull it off, but you're going to be rolling it against at least 5 difficulty.
What's our suspicion right now?
7, because I just cashed in a bunch of it.
I could use my mayhem for a
Which
dark
is?
miracle of Bogal Karuk
Oh.
I love it.
to destroy the bridge.
I love it.
Do we, also, aren't we trying to get over the bridge?
Ah,
Yes, we
tish.
want to cross the bridge first. That's a good point.
The hippo is amphibious.
We could destroy the bit of bridge that they're on.
Yeah, I mean, we can narrate this such that something happens. Yeah, no,
It's
do
a miracle,
this
guys.
exactly. Do the miracle, and we'll worry about the repercussions later. That's a
Okay,
problem
so
for
I'm-
future Havoc Brigade.
So I'm rolling 7 dice.
Yes, you are rolling 7 dice.
Okay, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Dropped down to 3 by the resistance from the machinists, but take it away.
Nice.
Okay, Alright, I'm trying to think of how to... Okay, so I, raise my arms, and I have my parsnip in one hand, and I say, "Oh great, Bogal Karuk, god of parsnips and orcs, rain down your mighty works upon us, and plunge these heathens who believe in the power of machines over the power of agriculture into the sea, river, whatever this is, into the river." And then I clap my hands together, and it's like a big thunder wave comes out from them, and the bridge beneath them starts to shake, 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 and the stones start to come out beneath them, and parsnips start to come up from it. All the stones are turning into parsnips beneath them. It's magical. Parsnip, 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 parsnip. They're slipping on parsnips, and they all splash together into the river. And I catch a parsnip in my hand and take a bite.
Fantastic. As we all know, yes, the greasier members of the Machinist Guild immediately combust upon contact with the water. This takes out a goodly chunk of them and sends the rest a slipping and a sliding.
And he just looks at them and goes, "You should have eaten your vegetables."
Serena herself is still up and is able to actually able to close and duel with you, and I think you lock blades, and she goes, "That's a nice try, but I think I've got to the root of the problem."
Oh!
And then and Duel of the Fates music starts up.
I will. Right. I have still a number of items.
Yes.
I am going to. So I will after this melee that I have been in, ride across the bridge on my trusty hippo, and seeing that one of my comrades is in what can only be described as a bit of a shitter, I will use my big crossbow, and I will use another one of the special bolts, which is just 12 forks, and
Which is 12 what?
forks.
Oh, fantastic.
12
And these
forks.
actually pre-gen, or are you making these up?
I am
these
completely
ones?
making these up.
Love it.
Excellent.
And I shall aim it in the vague direction of this person in electricity armor. You just
Power
does
armor, yeah.
Does she have pauldrons?
Yes, she has magnificent World of Warcraft pauldrons.
I will attempt to conduct some of the electricity between her and her armor. I'm going to try and make a circuit between the electricity in her armor and her.
Yes.
Sure. She's got electro sword and powered armor. I'm sure this works somehow.
Nice.
Yes.
She's wearing like a
Yes.
rubber suit underneath, but you bust through it if you make it.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
I will use shoot and stuff, big crossbows, special bolts, and to be honest, I think that's about it. Yeah, I've used all my talk to and learn about. I've used all my drives. Right, that's two then.
I can give you that's a cunning plan if you like.
Sure. Does that adds two?
That
more dice,
adds
right?
2 more.
That's 2.
Aha!
I'm using
I'm
up
gonna
all
shout.
my buffers.
Yeah, save some for the prince, guys.
No.
Yeah, right.
Oh dear. Oh
Yeah,
dear.
I got nothing left.
crap.
That is
no.
of the 4 dice I rolled. That's 1 success.
I'm going to give you that's dead good. I've not used any of mine yet.
I will roll again.
Cool.
That was 1 success.
Oh, for goodness
That
sake.
was 3 threes.
No.
Oh no! So
Three,
you
three.
take that was contested by 3 successes. So you take 2 damage as you take 2 pips of damage. As yes, you fire your bundle of forks, and they scatter and clang, and a lot of them are embedded in the power armor, but none have gone through. And I think Serena is able to whirl away, and in reply, her sword the charge grows, and it goes, "Were you trying something like this?" And a bolt of lightning just shoots out. She levels the sword at you. A bolt of lightning shoots out the tip of it and just blasts you right off the hippo.
Oh, rude.
Not the hippo.
Not the hippo.
The hippo's fine. We've had input from Moontooth, goblins.
Goblins. Oh wait, so who from the enemies? We've got Serena, who's in the middle of the bridge-ish.
Yeah, mechanically they're all in the same block of enemy morale.
Okay.
But yeah, narratively, Serena is taking the lead, and there is a rapidly regrouping set of nerds in assorted with assorted gizmos and gadgets aplenty.
Okay. So Snot,
Exactly.
the cleric, is staying nearish is hiding near-ish to Profenius, having just drawn a beautiful portrait and is now like, yeah, I like this human. But the rest of them all have a very strong affinity to Wrench. So all the other goblins are going to hide behind Wrench.
Aww.
And Bang, the explosives expert, pulls out a book that seems to have sort of most of its pages missing. Doesn't seem very much of it, but she flicks through it and just they flick through it and she's like, yes, this will work for murder. And then they pull out a magic wand with 1 charge remaining and fasten to the end of it the pint of blood.
Oh God.
Blood magic.
Oh.
It's
That's a
great.
good plan again.
Hiding behind Wrench and peeking out behind Wrench. Bang goes, let's make it rain.
Oh.
I knew it.
I fucking love it. Roll many of those dice, please.
Yeah, that'd be 4 dice.
That's a
Oh, I like
bad
that
one.
dice foley. That's some good dice
Oh,
foley you
thank
got
you.
going
That
there.
is unfortunately only 2 successes.
That is also 2 successes. I feel that is also 2 successes. I feel that the Rain of Blood would have worked a lot. That I think they are wigged the hell out. But the Rain of Blood would have worked better on people who weren't covered in quite so much brass. Yeah, quite so much brass and gizmos.
I tried.
Yeah, the gentle fall of blood largely goes unnoticed amongst the hail of guns and explosions and chatter of repeating crossbows.
Alrighty. Is it my go again? I think if I've done my maths right.
Yes.
So I would
Yes.
like to give the goblins a nod as if to say we're working as a team now, and then using the distraction of the blood and the fight. So have I got it right that Serena's kind of engaged in combat with?
Yeah, she's dueling Profanius, but she also just kind of punked Shivit.
Yeah. So she's kind of. So am I able to kind of stilts down?
Yes.
Am I able to kind of come up behind her with my heavy bag of tools And
Yes.
I've been watching her fight. I kind of know roughly and I'm going to use my skill knowing about machines.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to try and short circuit her armor, basically, so that it locks up, so that she's suddenly
love it.
encased in just like sheer metal and is unable to move. Is my plan.
A metal bodysuit cage.
And also, my reasoning for this is I really would quite like a go at that electric sword, which is
Fantastic.
my
Yes.
drive to nick some
Yeah.
awesome technology.
Yeah,
So I think
absolutely.
that's 4 dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm coming up behind her, doing my best not to cackle as I do it, with like a screwdriver, and I know exactly where, like just below the neck, just to like twist a screw just a little bit so that she completely freezes.
Goblet is on your shoulder and just has like hands over his mouth, trying really hard on.
Yeah, is he doing like a Muttley? He's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, okay, here we go. Boop-a-dee-ba. Okay, oh yeah, that is 4 successes.
Yes,
Gobble
fantastic.
works!
2 successes contesting. Absolutely. The yeah. So I think you do that, and yeah, you do that, and you tweak the screw that needs tweaking, and you bonk the bolt that needs bonking, and and I think Serena was preparing to whirl round for a devastating overhand karma chop at you, Profanius, but she kind of locks up in the ready position. So actually, the electro sword is actually just there, right in front of you, Wrench. She is still active. I think she has 1 arm and 1 leg is active on her right side, but the entire left side of the suit has just locked up.
I can't, annoyingly, I can't think of a good quip. So I'm just gonna take the
Great quip.
having delivered a simmering quip that I think we can all agree was amazing. I will
The highlight of the session.
The sheer comedy of it.
the sheerness. Yeah, I'll then
Go
just
down
like
in history.
take the sword out of her hand and just be like, "I'll be taking that now. Thank you very much."
Fantastic.
Sounds about right.
With that in mind, so Wrench, that's just done a thing. Moontooth, Profanius, Goblin, Shivit. Any contributions?
Is she still moving?
One arm and
she's
1
like,
leg.
She's like spinning round in outraged circles.
Fantastic.
Are there other people around who need hitting?
Yes, there are many irate nerds now with slightly more iron content, thanks to the goblins.
That's not how blood
that's
works,
not
but okay.
how- Okay. I'm concerned.
That's not how any of this works.
I want to do some hitting for Bogal Karuk. I'll be using my ancient sword of Bogal Karuk.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be hitting stuff. Right. So that is 2 dice. I've gone Cornish again. Hold on. I have 1 success.
One success, and rolling against that because we're onto the second track. So yes. 2 successes. You take 1 harm as you fly merrily into a melee. But there are several like anti-scary person come closer to me pieces of technology. So I think you get bonked straight back out again.
I am officially bumped.
Okay. I would like to attempt to heal Wrench, I believe, took all the lead.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
took 2
right at the beginning,
hits.
Yeah, so I would like to use my healing magic and maybe be a little spooky at the same time, just because that's kind of the vibe
Fantastic.
here. And just gently lay my hands on his face.
I flinch.
Fantastic.
And they just kind of stay there, and they're kind of slightly sweaty, and they don't smell good.
Goblet is just like
and-
leaning down over the head, like Goblet.
Yeah, I'll allow it, but like I'm giving all of the body signals to be like I'm confused and a little
Goblet
bit
is
scared.
like, is this
Like,
dude, like, is this okay? Like, what's
yeah,
going
I'm kind of
on
like
here?
I'm allowing it, but I'm clearly confused.
I just start humming
roll-
slowly.
Roll for it.
Alright, I
This
get. This is 2 dice, so we'll see.
As far as
That's
you can tell,
1 success.
Moontooth has just randomly decided to caress your face lovingly.
Pretty much.
I didn't know you cared.
Goblet.
I didn't know
Okay.
you felt this way.
You are okay. This moment of, I hesitate to call it chemistry, but this
Oh, yes,
moment
chemistry.
interrupted by the contrails from a stray explosive. No healing is accomplished, but no one takes any damage.
You've got very round eyes, you know.
So you still think that this was just like a weird, intimate moment?
Yeah, I got no.
I grew them myself.
Interesting. Oh, look, there's a fight
just
going
nod
on.
slowly.
Yeah, we just kind of
Oh,
have a
yeah.
moment of.
Will you look at the blood?
Oh, no, blood,
yes.
It's
blood
like
everywhere.
Elizabeth and Will getting married in the middle of a battle.
Except it failed. Yes.
Stop making out over there, you two.
Okay, we've had Wrench, we've had Moontooth, we've had Profanius, Goblins, and Shivet.
Righto. You go first. I have the inklings of a plan, but it's probably terrible.
Those are the best plans. Goblins?
Okay, I've never had a plan for any of this. Nothing I do has a plan.
Excellent.
Everything I do is chaos. I feel like this is the true goblin mood. The goblins, confused by the fact that their favourite orc is now having a moment. So, Bang, Snot, Petunia, and Tiny Tim are all going to swarm over Serena, Professor Winchester, and are going to try and disable her left side. They're trying their very best to copy what they saw Wrench doing, but all they have is a rusty saw and a brick and a sock.
Fantastic.
So that's swarming over, blokes. Rusty saw, that's only 3D. 6.
3D.
3D! That is 3 successes!
This podcast is brought to you in 3D.
Okay, yes, I think that you. I think that with the 2 successes that got you, she had 1 success to discount that. Yes, the 2 of you. So the goblins are swarming, and she is protesting. And she is protesting, but there is not much she can do about that. She is I think she is not completely immobile, but she is down to 1 leg, and she's just kind of. I think she's actually going to start stomping back to the line with the rest, the melee with Profanius and the rest of her nerds.
The goblins are laughing at her.
Yeah, and with various goblins dangling off parts of her powered carapace, muttering about the things I do for tenure. Yes, and last but not least, Skivet.
I, in my infinite wisdom, am going to Ratatouille-style pilot 2 of the nerds to shoot the rest.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I shall use, as intimidation, my dirty great big knife, knowing about human stuff, and the hippo.
Fantastic.
The hippo shall be incentive.
Cool. So it's friendly fire or the hippo. Fantastic.
Yes, because I don't think the light mercenary regimental armor will come into this.
Hippo or death.
That's 3 dice my end. And a 1, 2, 3.
Explosives.
Ooh! Yeah, that's 2 successes.
Cool. That is 1 success. So yes, I think that I think you don't convince them. I think you don't convince them to fire on their allies, but the 2 of them both just kind of they just kind of look at each other and go, you know what? I think they had some openings in the liberal arts centre earlier. Yeah, that's a much more
Good choice, lads. I've always been one to liberate the arts. They should not keep them in cages.
Hey. And they will finger guns at you. They will finger guns at you. Go as they nervously backtrack off into the distance.
Nerds.
I now have weaponry.
The irony of us beating up a bunch of nerds is just.
I love it. I love it. I am going. Yes. So if you want to scavenge,
I don't have any scavenge left.
I would like to scavenge.
If the goblins would like to scavenge some
Gatling guns.
student firearms,
I would love to scavenge some cool ass tech if that's where we're at right now.
I mean, I think the goblins can because they just kind of get everywhere, but you are still in the middle of a melee.
That's a good point.
And speaking
Can
of
I scavenge Wrench's heart? I'm kidding.
That was dark.
Goblet.
In a romantic sense or an anatomical sense?
I'm not sure
tell
there's
me.
a difference with Moontooth, let's be honest.
That's true.
Both are very, very sexy.
This is Moontooth's erotic novel, Scavenge My Heart.
Scavenge my heart, my god.
Oh.
I think at this stage I'm going. I think at this stage I am going to say you are getting ready to get stuck in the thick of these remaining nerds, and then a voice calls out from behind you. Stop! You inelegant fiends! And you turn around, and you may remember there was a search party of elegant elves on elegant elven predator cats searching for orc infiltrators who you brushed off. Well, they seem to have gotten wind of your ploy, and you turn around, and there are easily a half dozen beautiful, graceful elven warriors with with a furious-looking general staring down at you, Cole, as Lady Spear Silence Moonshadow brandishes her spear in an exquisite fencer's pose.
Good morning.
And says, You may have fooled us once with your dastardly ways, but good and grace shall intervene. And now, my scions, on to these miscreants. And they prowl forward, and you could hear the clattering and clanking as even more reinforcements start to emerge from other sides of the city. You are on the middle of this destroyed bridge, and though you have done well, you are starting to get bogged down and surrounded.
Hello there, all you listeners out in Listenerland. Matt here, but you probably knew that already, to give you a cheeky little weekly helping of mid-roll. So a few announcements this week. Announcement the first, if you hadn't stumbled across it already, we have our own shiny new website now, and it's available on the World Wide Web in all of its coded glory. Use it for, well, whatever it is people use websites for. I don't know, I have a typewriter. Announcement the second. This is a barefaced, shameless reminder that you can like, subscribe, and rate us. We have a creature that lives in the darkest corner of the website that lives on likes and subscribes. If we don't get enough, we're going to have to feed it Peter, and we really don't want to do that. Announcement the third. If you, in your infinite wisdom, decide to rate and review us, you can request a shout-out on the show. But not just any shout-out, a shout-out in a character voice of your choice. So don't be a fool, listener. Listen to the voice in your head. My voice. Do what it says. Always do what it says. Alright, that's enough chit-chat and lollygagging for now, don't you think? On with the show. Banjo, you're up.
There is a kind of tense pause at the main bridge when the tense piece is disturbed somewhat by a pair of messenger owls which fly in from the conclave of magicians and deliver small scroll notes to both the general of the elves and to Serena, and she kind of just makes the I'm on the phone, give us a sec gesture as she receives this. Yes?
Point of information, her power armor is seized up. One of her underlings will have to unfurl the scroll for her because she only has one working arm. Carry on.
Yeah, I think the owl comes in expecting a proffered arm and kind of blats her in the face a little bit. I quite like the visual of her just kind of sighing and holding out the hand in that give me a sec, while this owl goes all over her face before a after a little bit of back and forth, the scroll is unfurled and Serena is able to read it, at which point her eyes widen in shock and she the attendant who has also read it, she kind of like nods stiffly to this person. It's the only way she can nod. Her armor is entirely seized up, and he makes a kind of a rollout gesture, and the embattled nerds start to like take down their firing positions and stuff like that, and just generally decamp. And the back across the bridge, the elven general gives you guys kind of a look like she's just been whatever the violent version of being cock-blocked is, and signals to speak and speaks to her kin in a beautiful lilting elven tongue, and they also decamp and start to move out. They seem to kind of be leaving you alone.
I'd like to yell at them. Yeah, you better run, cowards.
Finally, some
Goblet.
proper respect.
Serena, well, she's already facing you, but she says, hang on, voice. Whatever you're planning to do in this city, I suggest you do it quickly. We've just had news that we've just had news that the old parsnip tunnels beneath the city have been co-opted by a cult, and they are partway through a ritual to attempt. They're partway through a ritual to attempt to blow up the city by summoning a dread elder demon. I think another couple of attendants are bringing I think there are about 3 attendants who are bringing a wheelbarrow. And they're just going to kind of like start rocking Serena back and forth because she's quite heavy and they can't actually pick her up. But as she goes back and forth through kind of Doppler effect, she says, you're probably trying to go to the palace, so I think that you'll have your work cut out for you. They know that there's a threat and they will be prepared. Good luck, clank. And she finally goes over into the wheelbarrow
Thank you.
is carted away.
So we're on the bridge, right?
Yes.
So how far is it to this island of the palace, roughly? If I'm looking out from the bridge, how far is the island with the palace on it?
There's not. I don't think there's not really a scale on the map. So,
we're talking like, is it? Can I see it? Is it many miles away? Is it?
Oh yeah, you can absolutely. You can see the castle island. You can see the castle island. You can see the island with the conclave of magicians.
Let's not go there.
I would say, call it like a couple 100 meters, 300 meters.
I think, well, we've just had a fight with the machinists folk, right? And we kicked their asses. So and if I remember the map correctly, the machinist guild is like on the wharf side, not far from the palace. So why do we not go to the machinist guild? Because we've already beaten them up. Even if they're trying to defend it, they're afraid of us, and they're busy. Why do we not go to the machinist guild? Steal something that A, we can get to the palace in, and B, we can escape really fast on.
Let's do that then.
Well, Wrench, looks like we're going to go inside and particularly get some inscrutables and some items.
I am so excited.
Time to steal a speedboat.
Fantastic. So you guys also decamp. Kind of, there's that awkward point where Serena in her wheelbarrow is going in the. She said this grand goodbye and is now going kind of in the same direction you are. It's super awkward. But you.
We're trying to make small talk.
Yeah. So what brings you to the city?
I'd like to brandish her sword at her.
One of the goblins just sits on her, and just gets wheelbarrowed.
Fantastic.
Have you heard the good news of our Lord and Saviour Bog Al Karuk?
You know what? Fuck it. Make this a roll.
Oh no!
I want like one of our goblins. I'm determined to get as many of these goblins hitched by the end of this session as I can. All right. One of them's already married. This will be a meme. God damn it. So what's the So what are you bringing? What are the goblins bring as an aggregate bringing to this role?
Okay. So I think that this is quite literal swarming over blokes. I mean,
Oh my god.
All goblins are polyamorous.
Yeah.
Snot, who is the one who is
the sexiest goblin.
yeah, who is the one who's decided to sit on Serena, just pulls out a ferret and goes, "It has your eyes."
Fantastic. So you're swarming over blokes and deploying a ferret.
Yeah, so that's only 2, but I'm very low on anything else. So
I think
It's one of the lesser known lessons of love.
once you go green, it can't be unseen.
Boy,
God.
thank you
Again.
for that.
This is going to be difficulty 3.
that's 2 4s, 2 successes.
That is a straight wash. One of our assistants gives you her number. I'll find you in my dreams, Snot.
I'll be waiting for you.
Fantastic. This conversation takes us by sheer takes us to the guild's rowing house, which of course has been retrofitted into a workshop. There are various as this is apparently Fantasy Oxford, there are various rowing teams out and about on the lake. They're all coming in because they have received the message. There is a lot of hustle and bustle and questioning and some very questioning looks, but they're on what amounts to red alert. So,
We
yeah.
wave cheerfully.
Yes, exactly. They just kind of like bustle around you and pretend not to notice. Yes,
So
there
what's
are
lined
various...
up at the dockside?
Huh?
Talk to me. What have we got at the dockside?
Yeah, paint us a word picture.
You have got. There is a single item, a single object or thing or item that jumps out as you as being useful to your aims.
Steam-powered speedboat. Steam-powered speedboat.
Fucking love it.
Powered steam.
A second hippo.
No!
Mechanical
Hippo-powered
hippo.
speedboat! Hippo...
A steam powered hippo.
It's a steam-powered steamboat, but what they do is they it's a steam-powered speedboat in the name in the sense that the name steam is the name of the hippo who runs on a treadmill.
Oh, God.
And it's actually like a paddle boat, but it's also got like a bunch of so he runs on the treadmill, but there's a bunch of dynamos attached to it, which power some bigger treadmills, kind of like bicycle chain and bicycle wheels.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So it's got these big old so the boat itself is of a moderate size, maybe 40, 50 feet long, but the circumference of these big powering treadmills is like twice that. So this thing when it picks up a head of speed, it starts basically hydroplaning across the water
like a water
because
mill attached to it.
because the wheels have such torque to them.
Wrench starts salivating at the sheer genius of it.
Is Gobbet still on Wrench's
Yes,
shoulders?
in my head, Gobbet is still on Wrench's shoulders.
And he'll never leave. I think they're in love now.
No, he should be my assistant.
I was going to say,
Thank
Gobblet
you.
is a married goblin, I'm afraid.
Oh my God, he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
But we already established that all goblins are polyamorous.
Polyamorous, but also loyal to a fault once you get there. Loyal to a fault, if not for long. Once they imprint
Trust.
on you.
And Gobblet is very loyal to Wrench.
Wrench holds up his hand for Gobbet to high five.
Gobblet high fives.
Wrench's heart warms.
So that is there. It is guarded. It is being attended by various engineers, but they see this battered up war party, this battered up war party approaching them and abruptly decide that they have better things to do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Using everything about the fact that I am Wrench of the Copper Clan, I would like to use this. I would scavenge this boat, please.
Fantastic. Just so I'm aware, so I can steer into narrative purposes, how many uses does that give you?
That's my last scavenge. That's 4 uses.
Cool. This means that the so you have this thing. It is fueled up and ready to go. The steampunk key, which of course isn't called the key, it's called the Grand Initiator, is in the initiation.
Definitely based on Oxford.
Is in the initiation drive. What
We're
are you?
all Oxbridge rejects here.
Yes. So what are you guys doing?
Well, I'd like to stand on the prow of the boat, and I shall nod to Gobbet to kind of hop off of my shoulders and prepare the initiation key. So I'm ready to go. So if anyone wants to do anything else, now's the time, because I'm ready
May
to
I
move.
suggest that we add the additional hippo to the hippo power and double the speed.
I love it.
My eyes go wide
Bertram!
with think of the power.
I
Yes, let's
thought
do
you'd
it.
like that, Wrench, and I
And
give you a shy smile.
I kind of look away, kind of oh.
Goblet nudges him Goblet.
Cool. Everyone becomes Graham Norton for a second, and then reality resets.
Wrench is like the opposite of Moontooth. Moontooth is all about tradition.
Opposites attract.
Ooh,
This is
opposites. Ooh, I
established.
ship it.
Oh, yeah. Did you not remember that tender face touch?
I just got this beautiful image of the two of them getting super excited about the hippo, and then we're like, yes! And then they both kind of pause for a minute
Yeah.
and then just go opposite
They
ways. Whoa.
Jump into the air and do a giant high five.
I mean, as H said, we have had Moontooth tenderly cradle Wrench's face. For seemingly no reason.
Permission to... Wrench is gonna after we've had this little moment with Moontooth, Wrench is gonna walk up to the the prow of the ship, look at Gobbet and be like, what are you looking at?
Goblet.
What is it?
Fantastic.
Goblet.
Okay.
Be quiet.
I hate to be a stickler for continuity or frankly any kind of consistency between scenes. Because God knows that's not our USP. But
However.
who is driving?
I would like to drive.
I will navigate, for I know the most about these parts.
I would like to encourage the hippos
Fantastic.
by poking them.
The goblins are everywhere.
Yeah, they're running the ship. The crew.
They
now.
are just everywhere constantly.
I feel like at least one of the goblins is clinging to the outer is clambering about the outer rim of the big wheel, being oh, we're all good to go, and then you start the engine up and they kind of go uh-oh. But because it's going so fast, they don't actually have time to be affected by any of the water.
And now they're having to run on the top of it. Just and one of them is definitely riding on the back of
Oh my
the
god,
hippo.
keep this up!
Cool,
That's
fantastic.
just not- you're the lookout.
So, I'm going to require a driving check, and you guys, the hippos start to the hippo wheel starts to spin up, and it's one of these ones. It's very slow to get going. And it just kind of cruises gently out because I think it's initially starting on just the power of the hippos at the back. And they run on the wheel, and it just kind of gently pootles out a couple of more impertinent rowboats just kind of go underneath it, and
I steer towards them just a little bit.
I am tenderly feeding the hippos parsnips.
Fantastic.
Number 55, your time is up.
Snot is waving a handkerchief back at the shore.
Fantastic.
I'll return soon, my love.
We see Gobbet's wife on the shore just crying.
Yeah, absolutely. Hands clasped to bosom. Yes. Then I think there's a point where there's a point where it's it's just a little bit of an awkward silence, and you're like, what is going on now? I thought this was supposed to be faster. Whoever's actually at the helm, what
neat.
contraption is it that what contraption button lever type thing is it that gets you to that allows you to actually engage the larger wheels?
So I'm kind of imagining that Wrench and Gobbet both are going to be kind of they've kind of got the hang of, okay, this is the steering wheel, and now they're just kind of pushing buttons and kind of trying to work out what
Cranking
does
levers.
what. Yeah, and at some
Just haven't
point,
taken the brakes off.
yeah, at some point, one of them is going to find like a bit suspiciously ornate lever amongst all of this clutter, and they're going to be like, "Oh, I wonder what that does," and like yank it off, and then the big wheels will start to freaking ramp up.
Yep.
And then we
Kinda
just...
let-
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. There's a in fact, what happens is yes, you haul on this ornate lever and yeah, absolutely, it comes off in your hands. And I think there's just a comedy moment of look to the lever, look to the camera. Uh-oh.
Oh, bless.
And then it just fucking goes, and the lever is left spinning end over end in midair before Wile E. Coyote gravity asserts itself and it splashes down into the water, winging an unlucky Cox. And then we cut back to the ship which is powering along. These wheels which are kind of, they're just slightly, they're each rung of the outer paddles is, well, it's a paddle, it's in the fucking name, Jacob. You've got these kind of wheels of water along there, these great plumes of spray out behind you. It is not subtle at all. You have technically yanked this lever off, and the speed dial is now firmly in the red zone, and I think there is a sticky note which goes unnoticed, unnoticed in all the chaos, which comes off, but gives the camera just the time to see prototype speed engage under, do not
Goblin
press.
can't read.
Yeah,
like-
I think you're chewing on the sticky note.
The speed dial has just gone to fast.
Yes,
Yeah, it
it's
says,
gone
do
to
not
11.
pull this lever.
Yeah, it's gone to. Why do we even have that lever? And the two towers of the Palace Citadel and the Wizards College just kind of appear anime style, like above the horizon, even though I've already said it's like 1,000 feet away. And from the Wizard's Tower, a spark light kind of twinkles in the distance, and
no, it's an eye.
no, it's if only it's a fireball. More to the point, this is Ham Wiggle's propagating fireball that gets hotter as it goes further. So the light, like this growing ball of fire approaching, which is red, then orange, then yellow, then white, and there from the palace walls, just various dots in the sky start to turn into really big rocks. You guys are approaching. These guys are opening fire at you. They know you're coming.
Hand down a bit.
Oh yes. I think this is because this involves all of you. I'm gonna say there are currently, if someone wants to cause mayhem, there are currently 9 die in the suspicion pool.
Whoa.
If you want to,
Okay, I would actually like to use my mayhem for a very specific reason.
Yes.
Okay, so my mayhem is rapid destructive invention.
fantastic.
Oh my
So
god.
What a name.
Yeah, so
I approve this.
yeah. So I'm gonna go and assume that the brakes are out of the question at this point.
Oh yeah.
So
We
what
left
I would
them behind.
yeah, I don't think the brakes are part of, nor am I particularly interested in the brakes. No. So I am gonna just basically yell at Gobbet to like, you're steering now, lad.
Goblet. Goblet salutes.
And so what I'm gonna do is use my mayhem to try and like rapidly kind of re-engineer the front of the boat into more of a battering ram. With the idea of like, our brake is going to be the castle wall. We're going to
Fantastic.
smash through it. Like,
I was hoping for this, because
Yeah.
if this works, I would like to suggest some shenanigans.
Absolutely, shenanigans are. I am all in favour of shenanigans.
When we hit the castle wall, we do that Scooby-Doo thing where, like, the front stops, the back keeps going, and we get catapulted straight through a window.
I love it.
That's what we're aiming for.
That is entirely my aim. So yeah, I'm going to mayhem with bending stuff. I'm also going to, I don't know if this is exactly how the rules work, but I will be using my my welding torch and my welding mask to help me do
as
this.
I read it, the welding rules are the mayhem rules are just that you take the inevitably massive pool of die and roll that.
Fair.
So you are rolling 9d6 for this.
9.
9, and because in fiction, I imagine this is. You know what? I'm going to say that this is going to also add 3 die. This is accounting for 3 of the 4 uses of the boat.
Fair.
I am leaving 1 open just in case you need to sail, you need to speed away into the sunset at the end of this.
Okay, here we go. Wrench wipes the sweat from his brow and begins to attempt to turn the front of the boat into a battering ram.
I didn't lose my engineering degree for nothing.
Yeah.
Goblet.
Hang on, just counting.
Parsnip.
Okay, that's a pretty even spread. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Fantastic. Hang on, they're rolling. They are currently
Matt
rolling
rolls
5. 5, we'll call this 6 die against you. Oh, +3 for base difficulty.
Fair.
Right, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So that is. I will consider that as 3 damage to the 3 damage to the morale of the Royal Guard. Yes. You'd like to describe what happens?
So just to clarify before I say it, so is you going to allow me to successfully pull off of the maneuver?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Right.
The
Okay.
shenanigans are
So
on.
in that case, what has happened is while Gobbit is steering the ship, Wrench has basically he's used his welding torch and all his bits and bobs to kind of bend the front of the boat into more of a kind of an arrow shape, and then he's bent some stanchions over. He stuck a little decal on the front that just says "Orcs!" !
There's a disgruntled goblet.
He quickly sketches goblins underneath in the orc equivalent of a Sharpie.
Goblin gives a thumbs up.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Everybody, hang on tight! It's going to be a bumpy ride."
Have the Havoc Brigade finally made it into the castle? What shenanigans await them within the castle walls? There's only one way to find out, and that's to listen in next week for the thrilling conclusion. But until then, thank you for listening to Direcast. If you'd like to keep up to date with episodes and announcements, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Direcast and on Instagram at DirecastPod, and subscribe to us on your favourite podcatcher. And hey, if you enjoyed listening to us, maybe consider giving us a rating or review, or sharing us with a friend. We'd really love that. Direcast is Lukey Slynn, Matt George Lovett, Jacob War, Helen, Peter Wellman, and H Folkmans. Our logo and banner art are by H Folkmans. The Direcast theme and Havoc Brigade Variation are composed and performed by Matt George Lovett, who also edited this episode. Our game this week was Havoc Brigade by Grant Howitt, a link to which can be found in the episode description, along with our individual social media information. And until next week, that's how the die are cast.